Yo, what's up, guys? I told you guys I'd be doing some newer content, and part of that new content is kind of going over changes that happen on the patch if it pertains to Samira. This patch, a lot of significant things happen. A lot of nerfs to different ADCs, fleet change, a Mortal Shield Bow Bloodthirster change, and Samira got a buff. So let's talk about it. First, we'll go over the Samira buff. So the buff was she gained 10% total AD on her Q before its max. So levels 1 through 4, it actually has a little bit more damage. Do I think this will change her spot in the meta? No. This is what I like to call a placebo buff. A buff that, yes, it's a buff, but doesn't actually do anything. Doesn't actually change the champ's position in the meta. It doesn't actually fix the problems with the champ. When I'm playing Samira, I'm not thinking, oh, I don't have enough Q damage in the early game. First of all, I don't even have a lot of AD in the early game. I have no items yet. So giving me more damage on Q scaling in the early game doesn't really do as much as I want it to do. It does some, but is it really that impactful of a buff? Not really. I've talked to people about this multiple times. I think the buff Samira needs is either range or durability, one of the two. I think those would be much better buffs. It's the when I get onto one, I'm not thinking, oh, I don't have the damage to kill them. I'm more thinking, can I even stick on to this person? Because people just kite you a lot of the times. And can I even survive long enough to actually get my damage off? Now let's talk about the champs that got nerfed and buffed and changed. So Jinx got buffed, small buff, doesn't really change anything. Misfortune got nerfed. Zeri got nerfed, which is good, but the Misfortune nerf isn't very big. It's only 2 AD. It won't change her beating Samira at all. She beats Samira more because of the poke. And they didn't nerf her Q or her R, so it doesn't really change anything. They did a pretty significant nerf to Smolder, but Samira wasn't losing to Smolder, so I don't think this changes anything, which makes the matchup easier. Varus nerf, which is good because Samira is losing to a lot of poke champs. Like Jin, Misfortune, Ziggs, so and Varus obviously. So this nerf is actually pretty good. I don't think Varus is one of the harder poke matchups. I think it's like 50-50 more because you can block his R, but definitely one of the more annoying style of champs, especially in the late game where they just chunk you before you get into the fight. Ziggs received a nerf, but doesn't change his spot in the meta at all. He just lost some damage to structures, so I don't think it will actually change the matchup at all. I think most mages will still beat up on Samira, and this is where a big problem with Samira lies right now, is because we're in this like weird poke utility ADC and mage meta, and Samira can't function with these champs. Samira can't play into Ashe. Samira can't play into Ziggs, can't play into Seraphine. You can block her R, yes, but you can't actually play into the range of these champs, and that's the problem. Fleet received a change. It's healing is less effective on range, which is good, but it won't actually change her spot in the meta. Because when I'm fighting champs, it's not that they're getting a lot of healing for Fleet, it's more that they're spacing me with the Fleet movement speed. And the movement speed did receive a slight nerf. It's 75% effective now for the movement speed, but it won't change any of the matchups that she's losing, right? It won't change her fighting Jin. It won't change her fighting Caitlyn or Jinx. It won't change her fighting any of these champs. And most of these champs that can actually move to PTA now that Fleet is nerfed. Like Jinx is using PTA now. I see a lot of Caitlyn's using PTA now that Fleet's nerfed. So it doesn't actually change any of the losing matchup. Lastly, we have the Bloodthirster and Immortal Shield Bow nerfs. So the Shield Bow one really hurts because the only defensive item that Samira really slots consistently is Shield Bow, and it being nerfed on range doesn't really make sense considering range users are the biggest users. I don't see many Yasuo Yone players using this. They use it sometimes, but I see more ADCs going it than anything. So nerfing on range is such a weird change. This item's dead. I'm not going Shield Bow anymore. I'm not even gonna build it. I'd rather just go an actual defensive item at this point. Even though the other defense items don't get crit, they'll just give me more survivability. I'm only going this if I just for the 100% crit. Like, what else could I go? That's Reaver, maybe, I guess. Lastly, you have the Bloodthirster nerf. Smaller shield, less lifesteal. The item is still fine. It still does what I want to do with it, which is lifesteal. I probably won't be building it as early now, though. I'll be waiting till later in the game when the shield is a little bit more impactful. And yeah, that's all the changes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me your comments below. Tell me what you guys think of the changes. And tell me what you guys think of this style of video. Do you want me to do more of this? Thank you for watching. See you.